Facebook fans, welcome to Gratitude Tuesday live. I'm doing something just a little tiny bit different. I've got a poll going. I hope you can see that. But basically, the poll question I'm asking you is, how have you liked the Resiliency series? How is this something that you think I should do quarterly? Is it, no, I want you to stick straight to leadership, Jane. Don't bother. Didn't help me anyway. So let me know. Answer the polling question, and or just shoot me a message right here in Facebook Live. And we'd really like to hear what you guys want to hear more of. So if it's resiliency, like once a quarter, seasonally, we'll be back at it with a month of resiliency probably in September. So you just let us know. So what we're going to talk about today is the eternal hamster wheel that all of you find yourself on. And what happens is work is busy. We've talked about the busyness paradox. We've talked about that busyness tunnel that seems endless to you. But the thing is work and home are the same, right? It's very infrequently that any of us have lives where home isn't just as busy. Even if, especially those of you who are raising young children, raising teenagers, raising, young married, have grandchildren that live near you. I mean, if you have a yard, hello, this time of year, it's calling to you, it's pulling you. And is that really what you want to do, right? So literally 24/7, you are on a hamster wheel. You are just going and going and going, going and going and going. And how do you get yourself off? How do you do that? And I'd like to propose that, you do something that feeds you. There's a great study that was done in China, but done with thousands and thousands of workers, because there are thousands and thousands of workers in China, by the Journal of Applied Psychology. And what they found out is how people, the hamster wheel is, as you can imagine, my pictorial for you, not China's or the Journal of Applied Psychology, but how people stop that endless on and on and on, and not really feeling like they get off, and really not feeling like they ever achieve anything for themselves. Is one of the title of the journal article is, what will you do tonight to make yourself better tomorrow? And what I see leaders doing is, because they're running all night long caring for others, and they're running all day long caring for others in the busyness tunnel, and and never really getting off of it, they don't have time for themselves and to really develop their best self. So what this journal article says is, if you do something tonight that's considered mastery, and I know that some people are weird about that word, but if you learn something new, something that you've always wanted to try, something that's going to make you better, okay? I took my first meditation class yesterday. Is it going to am I a master? Heck no. In fact, I think I might have snored during it. It's very embarrassing. So I'm not a master at all, but it was the first thing when my hubby got home from work. I was like, oh my God, guess what I did today? It was so cool. I loved it. It was 29 minutes of my life. That's it, right? I felt like I did everything wrong. I didn't take off my shoes. I didn't bring a pillow to sit on. Doesn't matter. It was amazing, right? Because I did something that's going to make me better. Whenever I see leaders across the country, what's the first thing they tell me? Hey, Jane, I took a welding class. I feel like such a super chick, right? I started my master's degree classes today. It feels amazing. I'm doing something for myself. So that is one great way. My daughter-in-law has a very stressful job. And so she was telling me, I've been crocheting a long time. It just doesn't seem to reduce my stress anymore. So I'm going to start quilting. She's learning something new, right? She's learning something new, that mastery. Okay. So consider that. What do I think about? What do I yearn for? What do I see and think, wow, I would really like to learn how to do that. I've always wanted to do that. That is a great way to get yourself off the hamster wheel. Stop it. Do something just for yourself. The Chinese study said that we have to do it at night after work. Well, of course, the Chinese would feel that way. I could tell you, I did my meditation class at 10 o'clock yesterday morning, and I went right back to work. And everybody else that was in the class with me was going right back to work. They just took a break, right? So, what could you do? What could you learn? You know what? It might be something that benefits you at work. Maybe you've never been great at, Excel spreadsheets, and you found a champion that can help you do that. It makes you feel great about yourself, a new skill. So the Journal of Applied Psychology tells us that if we spend our time learning something new and doing something that feeds us in that way, that we are automatically more productive, more efficient. We feel more empowered the very next day after lesson 1 in karate or whatever it is that you want to do. The very next day, you're better at work already because you have pride, right? Confidence. I was badass yesterday. Sorry for swearing. Okay. So that's one thing, right? How do we get off this? The other thing is, what do you want to do to live longer? What do you want to do to live longer? Maybe you're really, really scared and concerned about being on this hamster wheel and not being able to get off and feeling like you put yourself off into the future. I'll start taking care of myself when I'm retired. Yeah, like that's going to happen. I'll start taking care of myself only on the weekends. I'll start doing things to make my life better soon, someday, when I have time. Right? So there's a great book. Whoops, Jesus. Eat, Move, Sleep. All right. And I really wish I had written this book because it's brilliant. And its author's name is Tom Rath. And what Mr. Rath describes to us in the book is he's like, you can make such minor changes that are doing great things for yourself, that it doesn't matter. You can, and if some of you feel, and I know there are those of you out there, right? I'm looking at about 4 young mothers right now. And, if you feel like I can't possibly take time for myself, I can't possibly do something to make my life healthier, then there are so many things in that book that will just be so insignificant to everyone else, but they're huge for you. Eating your vegetables first, always. Taking 20 minutes to finish a meal. Now, I know that a lot of you might be shoving, food in somebody else's face while you're trying to eat, but, standing up every time you answer the phone. Think about how great that would make you feel if you just developed a new habit. I do disagree with Mr. Rath in the book because he says that, you need to start a new habit every day. Incorrect. Literally, that's possible to hardwire a new habit every single day. What science teaches us about creating new habits is you got to do it for 21 to 30 days. So what I did when I read this book is I went ahead, took 12 things, plotted out a calendar, and every month I started a new healthy habit. It was either the way that I ate, the way that I moved, or the way that I focused on my sleep. Amazing. So, maybe you are concerned about not getting off the hamster wheel in time to save yourself, literally, that you see your family members getting type 2 diabetes. You see your family members really not aging well. And you think, is that going to be me, right? What can I do to be younger next year? That's another book too, P.S. We don't have enough time to talk about that today. So the third thing is, in a real discovery in research on outside, okay? It's June, people, June 4th. Okay, we are almost to the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. There is so much research that has been done on the benefits of exercise when it's completed outside, the benefits of something simple like bending over and pulling weeds, the benefits of playing outside, watching others play outside, please try to turn your face, to the clouds, to the sun, to the rain, whatever. But try to do something in green. And if you're in Arizona, fan of the framework, stand near a cactus, okay? But try to do something outside every single day and incorporate it into your work. If you're rounding on an employee, so let's go for a walk, right? It'll be quicker. If you're interviewing somebody, let's go for a walk, all right? Take what I used to do is I used to get to my office from all my departments by going outside the building and walking around. Okay. It only took me maybe 3 or 4 minutes longer. Okay. And when that happened, I felt amazing. It's like energetic, energized. If I didn't achieve anything in this day, I achieved that one thing. I got outside. So I'd like to pose this to you. Don't forget, in closing, don't forget to answer the poll question. Would you like more resiliency stuff on a quarterly basis, or do you want us to stick just to leadership? But, what if you worked in a place where your employer put your personal resiliency first? What if you worked in a place where it was required competency skill for you to achieve a personalized self-care plan that you carried forward? What if you worked in a place where, as a leader, it was an expectation that you led from a place of self-care and resiliency, that you role modeled it for your employees, just like you role model great behaviors and transparent, direct communication, relationship building? What if your personal resiliency and self-care was something that you were called to role model on a daily basis? We got you covered at Capstone Leadership Solutions. Our framework has resiliency built right into it. The leaders that work in our partner organizations know that part of the leadership bundle and part of the training that they get quarterly is based on their own self-care and resiliency. So focus people. We will see you soon. Next week, it's back to leadership topics. Answer the question for me. I appreciate it. Thanks, and have a great evening. Go outside.